I went in and I stayed for about 5 minutes, um, just observing my interactions and interactions with other people. As I went in, it's a small church. To me, it seems like it has a lot of energy. Um, Mostly African American. I saw one older Hispanic male, appearing to be Hispanic male, and one 30-ish to maybe my age, Hispanic female. For me, because I'm such a loner, I'm used to I'm used to having space around me. It's a small church, and if there's not space around me, I'm used to it would have to be like people that are kind of fuddy-duddy-ish like me. Um, as I walked in, of course, they have the people that are, the ushers that are. I can't do any more church. There's a lot of churches on this street, but I can't do any more. It's just too much. Unless I go to the one that's way down the street around the corner somewhere. But the it's like at first everything was pretty cool. Like when I went in, like I said, it's a very small church. They have the ushers and things at the door, and the little hallway I guess was so crowded I didn't know if all the ushers are congregating to hold people back, because some churches do that. They hold you back from going into the service until they do whatever they got to do with the cameras and that type of thing. And I just saw the cutest thing. There was a girl, a motorcycle rolled past, and there was a girl on it. And all I heard was a vroom, and I saw purple and yellow. The motorcycle was purple and yellow. The person on it had purple and yellow. And as I looked, I saw it was a girl, and she was just having the time of her life. Her bandana on, braids and whatever. She was having a good time. It was just enjoying herself. That's nice. But anyways, and see, that makes me feel good. That's another 20 points. But just to see people having a good time, just enjoying themselves. But anyway, so when I went in, it was really crowded. The little hallway where people walk in and out was really crowded. So I was thinking maybe they were holding people back. One of the ladies, uh, one of the ladies was at the door. She's like, "You can go in if you want to." I was like, "Oh, you can't." I didn't know because it's so crowded. I couldn't even walk around these people. And I guess people that are used to being around people a lot, they would have, regardless of if it was packed from side to side, and regardless of what anybody thought, they would have just been like, "Hey, excuse me, let me get by." But I stood there waiting because I thought that they were holding people back from coming in. So I just stood there. And so I went in, and actually, yes, indeed, there was more people in the hallway than there was inside. They was just starting up. The demographics, quite a few youth and teenagers. I guess it was like a youth Sunday or whatever. And then there were quite a few middle-aged and a little bit older than middle-aged people like myself. And I was doing okay until, like, I think I was standing up because they were reading the word, and I guess everybody stood up. So I am programmed to a certain extent, if it's not hurting nobody and everybody's doing it, and it's tradition in that place, I'll do it, if it's not hurting anybody. So I was standing up, and, I kept feeling like this shoulder. Like I said, I'm not used to being that close to people unless, I've had a chance to check you out. You're some type of people, or unless it's just obvious that it's so packed that, there's no room, And so, I look up, and there's this big, tall guy. So I'm like, okay, fine. He's doing whatever he has to do, then he's going to move. But, whatever he has to do, I guess people, and that's the thing, maybe I'm not comfortable in myself, and people are very comfortable in themselves. I cannot, like, I can't have that kind of contact. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, so I'm standing there, and then after a while, I'm like, okay, he's still like bumping shoulders with me, or whatever. So I just moved down because I'm thinking, well, maybe he needs a place to sit, and I'm taking up this row so he can't sit here because I'm like at the very end, because I know that I'm gonna slip out. So I moved down, and he's still, where he is. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. But then I'm thinking to myself, I can't tell if other people are gonna be being ushered in or what. But I'm like, okay, I don't want to be blocked in the middle because then I got to trip over all these people in the middle of a service to get out. So, and they didn't have nothing to say about the way I dressed. I didn't feel they felt any type of way about the way they're dressed. I just think that the feeling of this church was that they welcomed you to come in. And you know how some people, they welcome you so much with their words that it's like an unwelcome, you know? They didn't do that. You just felt comfortable. Like if you came and you wanted to blend in, you could blend right on in and it wouldn't be a problem. And they did not care about what I looked like. They did not care about how I dressed. That's the general feeling that I got. It did not matter to them at all. And I have a feeling that if I let my personality show and I was really, sweet and kind and lovable or whatever it is, that they would have embraced me with open arms and we would have been instant family for a little bit until I found something to be nitpicky about or vice versa. Hi. So, yeah. So then I'm, excused, and then I felt trapped because there's two women, probably a lady a little bit older than me and her mom on one side. Then there's this guy, in the aisle the other side. I can't tell if he's trying to have a seat or not, or if he's just, standing around. I don't know what he's doing. So, I didn't want to be trapped in. I wanted to be able to slip outside. So then I felt like, okay, I don't want to make this lady move, and I don't want to have to excuse myself through. This time there's a conglomerate of men on the other side. I don't want to, be excuse me and all weird going through that way. So, I excused myself and went down the other way. And you know what? This is something else that touched my heart. This is another 20 points. So the area that I'm walking through is pretty ghetto. And I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 children, a mom with a blonde wig, and I guess her boyfriend. And they're all going to church. Now, the reason this touches my heart, my mom was never a ghetto mom. But I remember living in the projects after my parents split. And I remember being in the project children getting dressed up and walking to church just like these people are, I remember that. I do. And it makes me feel good because it's a family trying to pull together. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. It's a family trying to pull together whatever it is that they have to pull together to make a family. No matter that this man and this woman may have been, excuse my language, screwing their brains out the night before in an effort to get rid of whatever pain they have from the life that's messed up. I mean, it's just, they're trying, and the fact that he even got to put on his clothes to win, that even though, they're trying. And to me, like they say, hope floats. And not just pinpointing this family that I'm seeing, but pinpointing myself. Look at me. For me to even try to put on my clothes to come outside. For me to even make any type of attempt to make any attempt. It's so funny because I'm walking back through the hood and I was in the store and I saw one of the customers that was there. And I just happened to recognize as I walked down the street. So I gave a hands up. No response. But like I said, not just pinpointing that family, but pinpointing me, because it's the same thing with me. The hope, even though somebody can see from the outside looking in, whatever the situation may be that you're having. I mean, still the fact that regardless of what the stereotype may be of you and whatever situation people may perceive you to have, you still reach down deep inside of you somehow and piece together all of those pieces and, you pull it together, you try to get out one more time, one more day, one more minute, one more hour. And I think that's just like the most beautiful thing ever. So if I had a title to something, it would be Hope Floats. I don't have titles on the other ones because it's, I would have to take time to think about it as I'm doing it, and then sometimes I can't upload immediately. So what happens is that in order for me to title it, I have to go back and see what it was that I was actually talking about. So it's whatever, but hope floats.